Welcome to Beans and Breakdowns, a podcast dedicated to bridging the gap between specialty coffee and the heavy music community. Today on the podcast, I'm joined by Marcus Williams, bassist for the band Crafting the Conspiracy. Since their debut release in 2016, Crafting the Conspiracy have gained notoriety and opened for a number of high-level bands such as Die Artist Murder and Soulfly, and contributed to a thriving scene in the West Texas region. So grab a fresh cup of coffee and wake the fuck up! What's going on, Caffeinated Crew? I'm here with Marcus Williams of Crafting the Conspiracy. Marcus, how's it going, man?
It's going great. Just out here surviving.
Well, cool, man. I know you're out there in West Texas. Hopefully it's not too steamy right now.
Oh, no. Well, it's actually been pretty warm this week. I think the highs has been like 98, 99 every day.
God damn.
I think today the high was 95, but we actually had some humidity, so it made it even hotter.
Yeah,
it was like 35 for almost 40% humidity because it was raining like 2 days ago, so it made it even hotter. So
I definitely don't miss that high humidity from living in the South.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Well,
it's usually dry out here though.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I know that it's super dry, and once you get past Dallas, there's no humidity usually.
Exactly.
Well, cool. On Beans and Breakdowns, we talk about coffee and we talk about metal, hardcore, punk, any kind of heavy music, really. We'll start with the coffee. I know that you said you're not drinking because it's about dinner time. But do you have like a coffee that you usually like to drink?
Yeah, I love coffee. I usually, of course, I mean, it sounds basic, of course, but I love Starbucks.
No, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, they have quality. I mean, I think it is anyway.
What's your
favorite? I don't
favorite?
really have any. My favorite? I usually get because I like frappuccinos, but sometimes I just grab like in the mornings when I like the hot. So I usually get the white chocolate mocha. That's usually my go-to. It's really good.
I haven't had one in a minute, but that used to be my drink too, man.
It's really good. I usually get like maybe an extra shot of espresso and then like 2 extra pumps
for sure
of the flavor in that.
Gives you that nice energy burst in the morning.
Exactly.
Well, on my side, I'm having, it's called Fenix, Guatemalan. It's by Pista Coffee Roasters in Montreal. It's really good. It's like a washed Guatemalan single origin coffee. It's got a lot of chocolatey hazelnut notes in it. It's really, really good. I prefer to drink it in the morning because this is like my kind of morning style coffee, but it's doing me right now.
Nice. That sounds good, man.
So that's awesome. So you're a Starbucks guy?
Yeah, I'd have to say. I mean, I don't really know. I'm not super well versed in like actual like I guess you could say like brands, other brands of coffee. I know there's a lot of like different companies out there. I've heard of. I'm trying to remember the name of this one I heard of. I guess it's like these metal people that make them. It's really cool, but I forgot the name of it. It'll come to me later, hopefully.
Yeah, there's I actually had his name's Paul Wagoneer from Between the Buried and Me on the podcast a few weeks ago, and he runs Night Flyer in Charlotte. So he's done some stuff for like Lamb of God, has a coffee brand now that he roasts, and that's actually a super solid like drinking coffee, but the branding just looks hard as hell because it's like their Memento Mori like album artwork on it, and then they have an Overlord, which is like this crow. It just looks like metal as shit, but it's
that's so sick.
Yeah, and then there's another one out of like the Bay Area, I think, but it's run by one of the crew guys for Periphery called Golden Lantern. So I've been nice. I want to order some from them soon because it's kind of hard to ship coffee to Canada from the US, but I have my back roads.
Yo, that's so sick. Yeah, you're gonna have to put me on some coffee, man. I always try to explore and expand my horizons and stuff. So that's kind of cool. I'd definitely take notes with these.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. That's what, it's like music. You don't just start off listening to fucking Suicide Silence day one, you kind of ease into that shit. So coffee's pretty much the same because I started out drinking, frappuccinos and the sweet, like mochas and white mochas and salted caramel. And kind of as I was a barista and worked my way into kind of just weaning the coffee out, the sugar out to start, I was required to taste coffee. And so at first I was like, it's too bitter. I can't drink this. This is crazy. But as I kind of tasted more and more, little by little, your palate gets a bit refined. So drinking a sweet coffee drink is not the end of the world. It's not even really a bad thing because I love having a mocha or a nice vanilla latte or something like that every once in a while. So there's no shame at all. It's just where I'm at now. I've gone down the rabbit hole too far. So
yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, but I can definitely always send you some recommendations or whatever you want.
Absolutely, that'd be cool.
I don't even know when I was in Odessa in Midland, I really didn't get outside of the little radius of my hotel and the performing arts center I was working at. I think I was like close to an HEB. So that was pretty much all I had was I could go get coffee at like HEB or something like that. I think I found a kolache shop by the grace of God that served some coffee and kolaches, but
this is actually cool. There's a really cool coffee shop in Odessa though. Not Starbucks. It's a place called The Human Bean, and it's really good. It's really good. It's ran by like college kids and stuff.
That's
really
sick.
Cool.
Yeah. Do they have shows and stuff there? Is that like a hip joint kind of like where they throw?
No, it's really small. It's only just like drive through only.
Oh, okay, cool.
But it's tight. It's real cool. They're having very good coffee there.
That's awesome. I'll check them out online for sure. I mean, I'm always next time I'm in Odessa.
Yeah, right.
But cool. We can, kind of switch gears a bit, get into more of the music stuff. I kind of want to know how you got into metal music in general, but definitely the deathcore side of things.
Okay. Well, I guess like anyone else, they always had like the gateway artists. You know what I'm saying? Like I started off with. Well, growing up, I was listening to like a lot of hip hop and stuff like that. Like in elementary school, like 50 Cent and Ludacris, guys like that.
Yeah, definitely.
And then once I got into like junior high, I moved to a different town and stuff, and I found a different crowd of kids and stuff. So when I was like in sixth grade, I got more into rock music, and also before that actually. My cousin got me into like bands like, Breaking Benjamin and System of a Down, stuff like that. And then I found like Slipknot and just started getting more and more heavy from there. And
once you open that door.
Yeah. So I opened Pandora's box a little bit from there. And then like in junior high, I found Slayer, like older bands like that. I started looking like the old thrash bands, like Slayer, Metallica, Megadeth, stuff like that. And then I kind of worked my way up. And then I guess by eighth grade, when I hit eighth grade, I moved to another town where the current town I'm in right now, a smaller town called Kermit. I discovered like basically everything else. Like I found like, let's see, like I got into prog music a lot. Prog's my baby now. I love prog music's my bread and butter. I love progressive music. I found bands like, Dream Theater and Rush. I felt like I met a friend. He's still a good friend of mine to this day. His name's Ryan. Me and him always go back and forth with music. And when I first met him, we always discovered music together, even back then. And yeah, we got on to like even like we jammed like a lot of classic bands like Iron Maiden and stuff like that. And we basically discovered music together too. Like got into like I said, Dream Theater, bands like Mastodon. And just got on like just down the rabbit hole like that with other bands. And I got into heavier music when I got to high school. Yeah. So like, when like freshman year, I just went straight into like Suicide Silence, Bring Me the Horizon at the time, and Whitechapel, Job for a Cowboy, you name it. Yeah, I was on it.
That was like, was that like around Entombment of the Machine days?
This was my freshman year of high school was 2009, so that was like the golden era.
That's pretty much. I think I was a sophomore, so definitely, I that's when I was like
That was like when Genesis
scenes.
dropped, I think. Or no. It was right whenever what's that record? Ruination dropped.
Yep. And that was The Cleansing by Suicide Silence that year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was around that.
Count Your
and
Blessings.
Suicide Silence barely dropped No Time to Bleed. And it was a freshman year.
Yep.
So it was cool. It was a great time for music. And
for sure. That was
metal
like
discovery.
That was like when Warped Tour was like, it was basically just deathcore bands.
Yeah, they're popping off. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
That was.
I would say that's very indicative of kind of how I was more sheltered, like I had to listen to more like Christian bands, but definitely
I could see that too.
Yeah, that was so Breaking Benjamin kind of skirted because they were not Christian, but they sounded Christian, I guess.
Yeah, I could see that. They weren't soft, but they weren't heavy either. And they had that like kind of hopeful-ish sound, you know what I'm saying?
They just sounded like you could slip them in with some of the more like, I guess, Christian alternative.
Like Flyleaf and stuff like that.
Flyleaf. Even Evanescence kind of passed through. And then who was the other one that was, it was Red. Red for a while was Red's really big. But yeah, definitely that's kind of how I as well. So, that I feel like everyone pretty much around our age, that's that journey where it's like you just kind of find Slipknot or something close to Slipknot and then just open the box.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh shit, how heavy can I get, man? What are pig squeals?
Yeah, but then they start getting into like that really fast stuff, like super fast, like kick drums, like, oh, this is fast. Whoa.
Like I know for me, it was as Blood Runs Black. The first time I heard My Dreams Have Become Phobias. And it's just like, how is he doing 30-second notes at that speed?
Exactly. That's so sick. Yeah, that's a great band also.
So the prog is your baby. Does that explain you play a Dingwall, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that because of like are you a big Nolly fan?
I have the signature, yeah. NG2. There's a Nolly signature, yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, I love Periphery. Periphery is one of my favorites also.
Yeah. Got that Dingwall.
Yeah, dingy, yes, sir.
So on the same kind of getting into metal and deathcore and everything like that, I know that you guys come from, Odessa's not the largest kind of city, and I know you live in Kermit, which is kind of outside of Odessa, but kind of how's the local scene and how has that played into Crafting the Conspiracy, kind of you guys' success?
So when we first started off, the scene was actually on a downturn a little bit, you could say. So like right before we came up, there was quite a few bands that were active and stuff. Like when I was going to shows and stuff, there was a lot of good local bands going on. And by the time we got into it and made a band, there was like not that many. Like most of the band had already dissolved, or most members were starting to form other bands. So it was like, okay, so maybe this is kind of a prime time for us, maybe. So, and then as we started going along, like about a year or two within playing shows and as a band, the scene started coming back again. So, it actually helped us a lot. We got to open up for a lot of big bands around the area that actually came through. So that helped. I think that's where we really cut our teeth, was playing with bigger bands. Like one of the first big bands we actually played with was probably Whitechapel in Lubbock. That was big for us. That was back in like 2015 or 16, I believe. And then we opened for The Artist Murder once when they came through, twice actually. So yeah, it was played with bands like that. And we got to open up for Soulfly in Odessa like in 2016 as well.
Yeah, that's like a bucket. That's a bucket list moment.
That was huge for us. We met Max Cavalera. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
it was really cool. And just playing around, opening for bands like that on the local scene was very helpful. And then, like I said, and then now, like flash forward to now, like the local scene's kind of coming back again too, in a way. Like there's this local venue we play out at a lot. It's called the Cactus House, and there's a lot of like the metal shows they put on there are cool. It's actually a hardcore scene coming up now. A lot of good hardcore and punk bands coming up. That's really sick to see. Yeah, that's very cool. Very cool.
I noticed, you guys released Human Error was like a self-release kind of. It wasn't on a major label. And then I know you guys are on, remind me of the label that you guys are on.
Inner Strength Records.
Yeah, Inner Strength. And that's, kind of a mid-sized label. So did you guys get basically just a lot of support from that like West Texas, Lubbock, Odessa, like was it kind of you were the only band at the time and kind of helped build that scene that's now picking up?
Yeah, in a way. I mean, we were one of the, I wouldn't say the only band, but I would say we were the ones that took steps. We're one of the bands that took steps to, try to make it out and stuff and put our name out there as much as we could, But yeah, like I said, we signed it was a one album deal. So we have a choice to re-sign with them or test free agency basically. So that's where we're at right now at the moment with Inner Strength actually. It's kind of, I haven't really announced anything about that yet until now. So
well, yeah. You heard it here first.
Yeah, honestly.
That's awesome. I know that you guys, on that note, y'all are releasing a new, is it the Cosmic Part 3?
No, Cosmic Key's done.
Okay.
There's not going to be a Part 3. So what we're doing now is actually going to be an instrumental release.
Oh.
Yeah. Which is, you're also hearing that here first. Also, we're going to announce everything tomorrow on our socials about that. So yeah.
Well, that announcement will be out before, because this will be out in a few weeks, so you don't have to worry too much.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's, I mean, so I guess we can expect to hear a decent amount of prog sound on that one. I know you guys have kind of gone from, Human Error was definitely like a deathcore sound, and then Cosmic Key kind of played around with some of those more like death metal with melodic and prog, and still some of that deathcore breakdown slipped in, but
sprinkled in there.
Yeah. So I guess that you guys you're especially trying to go more into that proggy instrumental almost.
We'll see. I guess we could kind of see how things shake up, but basically we released that Cosmic Key Part 1 was a self-release, and then Cosmic Key Part 2 was this one on Inner Strength, and that Cosmic Key Part 2 is what we're doing right now as the instrumental side of that.
Okay.
So we're going to release the whole thing as an instrumental record as part of an audition for new vocalists.
Okay.
So that's the plan with that. Yeah, it's kind of like a instrumental edition of that.
I hadn't realized that you guys were parted ways with a vocalist.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. We announced that was it a week or two ago.
Okay.
So we're gonna be opening up auditions starting tomorrow also, which is September 5th.
Awesome. And do y'all have a requirement for vocalist, or can it be pretty much if you live in, within driving distance or something like that?
Not really. We're just trying to find someone that I feel like has we want to have someone that's established, That's the goal. Have someone that has tour experience and a little established, has a name in a way, not really someone super famous, we're not looking for that, but someone that can hold their own on tour and that's really good and has good stage presence. That's the main thing we're looking for. And someone that's trustworthy and good stuff like that,
So like y'all need your version of a Will Ramos.
Basically, yes. That would be a miracle, but something like that, yes, would be perfect.
It feels like he came out of just nowhere, and now everybody's got his name in their mouth.
He's been grinding for years. Yeah, he's been grinding for years, though. So I respect that guy so much.
Definitely. So I guess I kind of wanted to talk about lyrics a bit. Just because Crafting the Conspiracy, you guys obviously nod to all of a lot of main conspiracy ideas out there. Is that something that you guys want to keep? Was that the initial idea of like a concept for the band initially?
Actually, lyrically, it was never the conspiracy thing was actually not even in the. That was not even ever an actual thing. It was just the name of the band, But actually, moving forward, we're gonna try to take advantage of that idea a little bit more. Going forward, like, maybe play around with the ideas of this song will be about an conspiracy and the next song will be about a different one, and kind of have a little loose theme like that. That might be a cool idea going forward, maybe.
Like, I like on social media, some of the cryptid stuff, which I love. I love like cryptid ideas. It's just really like interesting to me. But yeah, I love that. Like that idea is really, really cool, especially for
Yeah.
Merch would pop off.
Yes, exactly. That's me and my drummer. He's very creative. He's one of the creative drivers of the band.
Mm-hmm.
Like he recently he kind of took over the Instagram recently and everything and our socials. He's helping the creative aspect of things. And yeah, we were talking about merch that one day, like maybe a year ago. And like, we should do a shirt about aliens and then another shirt about, something crazy, something like that, just going down the line.
Like a Jersey Devil shirt or something weird.
Yeah, or Mothman or whatever. Jersey Devil, stuff like that.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, that's
really,
that would be, you can make a collector set.
Exactly. Exactly.
For sure. Well, do you have a favorite conspiracy?
Oh, I don't know. See, like myself personally, I don't really look into them too much, but I guess it would be, what's that one? I don't even know, man, honestly. I guess Area 51 is kind of cool to think about. Even though I don't even think it's a conspiracy. I think it's just the fact that they hide stuff there. I mean, like it's kind of like common knowledge at this point.
Yeah, for sure. And like, I know
it's always interested me.
Y'all probably see a bunch of weird shit in the sky in West Texas. Is so open.
Oh yeah. Also, the Marfa Lights. That's a thing.
The what?
Or it's kind of it's called the Marfa Lights.
Okay.
There's a city, little like southeast of us. It's called it's Marfa, a little small town in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
That literally have like light. Sometimes during a certain time of the year, you'll see like lights in the sky, like in the distance, and no one knows where it comes from.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like literally, no one knows where they come from or anything. It's really cool.
That's sick. I because I live in Montreal now. I live super close to upstate New York. So like,
oh really? Wow.
Yeah. So like Jersey Devil, was it the Montauk monster? Like all that stuff, or even the Mothman kind of comes from like this area.
Mm-hmm.
So I listen to like a lot of like weird podcasts that either they just like make up stories or like they kind of talk about, the weird lore behind it. But I feel like there is some truth in all those like stories a bit, because a lot of people seen it. I don't know.
Right? It's like, well, yeah, and then they all see the same thing. So it's like, it's got to be some truth to that,
It's like, what do you have to gain from telling people you saw some crazy shit? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, it's really cool.
Well, awesome. I've really enjoyed talking to you about, Crafting the Conspiracy, Odessa, even the Starbucks stuff, man. It's been an awesome time.
Absolutely.
I know it's a little bit late. I don't want to keep you, too long. I just have one last question for
you're
you.
Good. Yeah.
What is your favorite city for beans and breakdowns?
Favorite city?
Mm-hmm.
Like to play in or just in general?
Yeah, like what's your favorite city to find, like, where the show's really popping off and, you've had a good coffee experience.
Coffee experience. Ooh. I'd probably say Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Austin, Texas. There's always like cool coffee shops and stuff up there. Yeah, and of course the shows there are nice too. Every time we play there, we get a good reception. This venue called Come and Take It Live. It's a super sick venue. Very sick.
I've seen a lot of bands go through Come and Take It Live.
Yes, it's a great venue. It's a great sound. Everything's so cool there. But I'd probably choose that. Yeah.
How far of a drive is that from you guys?
From here to Austin's close to 6 hours. It's about 5 hours and 40 minutes roughly. Maybe It's closer to 6 hours.
For some reason, I thought it was so much further.
Nah.
Because Texas is like,
it's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can like literally across, like, I think from El Paso to Houston is about 12-hour drive, 11 to 12-hour drive. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's my wife has driven from Houston to Fort Stockton, which is
oh wow.
Yeah, almost past
my neck of the woods.
Yeah. So, and I think that's like a 12-hour drive. So it's about there. Yeah.
So I think it's actually might be 14 or 15 then. So yeah, it's crazy.
Definitely. Well, awesome, man. I really do appreciate you talking to me. Sorry to interrupt your dinner again.
No, that's totally cool, man. I'm glad you did that because I got to talk to you. Yeah, it's really sick.
Awesome, man. Take it easy. Have a good night.
All right, thank you so much for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Beans and Breakdowns. I want to say a special thanks to Marcus for coming on the podcast, hanging out with me, talking about metal and coffee. Be sure to check out Crafting the Conspiracy's latest release on all listening platforms and keep up with them on Instagram at CTC Band Official. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. Also, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Beans and Breakdowns, as well as on the web at beansandbreakdowns.com. Until next week, be sure to stay caffeinated and wake the fuck up.